Hi everyone, Helen Blunden here, or at Activate Learn on Twitter. It is time for another book review, and this week I'd like to review Future Fit by Andrea Clarke. This book is also introduced by Bernard Salt, who's a well-known demographer. And this book is all about how to stay relevant and competitive in the future of work. Now, I found this book at the local bookshop and I picked it up and I looked at it and I thought, well, Helen, you write about the future of work, you write about continual and lifelong learning, you write about how to stay relevant and competitive in this crazy complex world that we are living in right now that is changing all the time. Why do you need to buy this book? Well, I thought about it and I was looking through it and I'm thinking, I want it, but I went to the library instead, and lo and behold, the library had it, so I borrowed it from there, thankfully. So I always believe that you can always learn something new, even though you may have gone on this journey yourself, you may be writing about it, or you may be helping others on that journey yourself. It's always still good to read what other people have to say. And I like how Andrea has created this book and summarize the relevant areas that people need to start thinking about, especially when looking forward, there's going to be, I guess, people who are going to be in multiple jobs now in their lives. They're going to have multiple jobs, multiple careers. So how are they going to prepare for it? And she's written it in 9 short chapters. It is an easy read in the sense that it captures just the main ideas from each of the chapter, but it also references and has a bibliography in the end if you want to explore more about where the research has come from. Now, just to give you an idea of the 9 chapters, she sets the scene by her background, her own story, which is great. I loved her story, given that she's someone from the newsroom. She has seen a lot of action. She's a news reporter, ex-correspondent in Washington, D.C. She's jumped in and out of planes. She's worked with the military. She's worked with all sorts of very high-level influential people. And so you could see that the environment that she has come from has been constantly changing all the time, and it's allowed her to think on her feet, to constantly come up with ways and means and strategies for being able to pivot and change depending on the situation that she's in. So I really love the stories of her journo background. So she starts the book off with her story about her time in Baghdad, but then she delves into the main elements of what we all should be doing in our lives regarding how to stay relevant and competitive. And they are, number 1, how to build your reputation capital, how to build your reputation, how to build it online and offline. So it's not just online, to have people know, like, and trust you, and she provides some tips on that. The 3rd chapter is sharpening your communication skills, both, again, communication online and offline. Now, there was a particular area, a framework that she gave in this chapter, which I'll come back to, which I loved and will use. The 4th one was tapping into adaptability. Adaptability is one of the key skills in the future of work, how to kind of make sense of the world. The 5th one is nurturing creativity. 6th is actively networking. The 7th is redefining leadership. Number 8 is refining problem solving. And number 9, my most favorite one, obviously, Activate Learning, is all about embracing continuous learning. Now, all through the chapters, I got some value from some and not from others, but please bear in mind that I've already been on this journey myself. I'm living it and I'm going through it, and I'm at a point now where I'm thinking, what is my next journey? Is it going to be about work, or is it going to be about retirement, or whatever? What's the next phase? But some of these were more relevant for me. One of the chapters that I didn't find relevant for me was the redefining leadership, simply because I'm not in that position at the moment. However, if you are just starting out in your career, or if you are mid-career, redefining leadership will definitely be something that you would have to consider and also be aware of, especially now that we are working in very hybrid workplaces with very dispersed teams. Now, what are some of the things that she talked about? Things that jumped out for me was how you create and establish your own personal brand. Okay, I hate the words personal brand, but you know what I mean. So let's just stick with what everyone knows it as personal brand. But she talks about you as a physical person, your digital footprint. What about your work and evidence of your work is online? Where is it? And who are you online? She talks about your values system. She talks about promises and the actions, the promises that you make and the actions that you do that build your reputation capital. And also what the perception other people have of you. So all these go into your personal brand. The other thing I really liked out of the communication chapter was all about, and this was something from her days as a journalist. I love this one, which was all about making sure that you communicate succinctly by having a headline, saying your information, and closing. It's kind of like a headline is a question, something to grab people, a statement. And then the second part is say the information that you have to say about that particular headline, just in, I guess, dot points, and then close it. Using 3 strong facts, using statistics, 1 idea per sentence, and basically you have a good, succinct way of communicating with people. I find sometimes that I tend to ramble, and I'm rambling right now in this book review. And I do know that I'm doing it myself in team meetings. I just ramble and just go on, and then I reiterate, and I could hear myself and I could see myself doing it. I see myself because I'm on camera and I'm watching myself doing it. And I have to physically stop myself saying, shut up, Helen, you could just stop it there. This kind of headline info close is something that I'm going to take away and desperately try to put into place because I don't want to ramble anymore. So Future Fit, how to stay relevant and competitive in the future of work. I think this kind of book would suit people who are not on this journey themselves. If you are someone who's already got a presence online, if you are showing and sharing your work and your learning online, if you have got an online presence, if you've established networks and communities, if you've established a group of people who have helped you along the way and that you can pivot your career, this won't help you, okay? But it will help a lot of the people out there who probably don't know what to do or how to start. It's not it's not in depth, and a lot of the things that she writes in here are just simple stories, I guess, intermixed with just some simple frameworks, very short frameworks. So if you're expecting a workbook or something for you to sit down and really go through and reflect on, this wouldn't be the book for you, but it would be a good introduction to it. So there you go, Future Fit, How to Stay Relevant and Competitive in the Future of Work by Andrea Clarke.